Well, I actually just started recording, so you guys good to go?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
All
Let's
right.
get it.
Yeah. Pro Fan Sports Podcast. Let's get it. Pro fans, tune into the program. Every single week, get the dope, fam. Sean on the mic, very flat too. Keep you updated, that's what we do. Pro fans, tune into the program. Pro fans, tune into the program. Pro fans, tune into the program. Every single week, get the dope, fam.
Yo, what it do, everybody? It's your boy John Altidor, Pro Fan Sports Podcast. Back at you with my boys, Barry. Vlad's not here at the moment. You know, maybe he'll come on. You know, he got something to do. Maybe he won't. And then we got an NBA legend, 14-year NBA vet, Kenny Anderson in the building. Thank you for coming on. How you doing, Kenny?
I'm doing well, man. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely, man. You could be anywhere, but you're here with us, man. We appreciate that for sure. So, you know, it's been a while, you know, since you left the NBA. I think you left in 2006, right?
Yeah, I think 2006. Yeah.
2006. So since then, man, I know you've been doing a couple of things. You're now in coaching. You know, I mean, what you been doing since, you know, you left the league?
Well, I retired 2005 because of my mother. My mother passed. My mother passed 2006.
Condolences.
And it was time for me to do something different. You know, she saw my whole career. So, you know, that's what I wanted. And she got the chance to see that. So it was time for me to give back. And I was thinking about, and my high school coach, Jack Curran, you know, he passed away. So he always was telling me, you got to give back. You got to give back. So, you know, I wanted to get into coaching. And I got a call from Fisk University in Nashville about 4 years ago about being the head coach. A small school, HBCU, down in Nashville. And I said, yo, this could be a great opportunity for me. And I went with it. My daughter's a junior here. And it's great. I'm just trying to build a program, build up the guys basketball wise, but life in general. Some of the things that I went through in my life, I could, you know, give them information about it. A guy that went through it. So, you know, they understand that.
Absolutely, man. I think, you know, recently I've seen like a surge of guys going back to, you know, to coaching, especially in the HBCU. You know, one guy that's doing big things right now is Deion Sanders at Jackson State, right? Why do you guys think it's important that you guys go back to the HBCUs?
It's very important because we black, and we happen to make it. You know, basketball for Eddie George is down the block at TSU, Tennessee State.
Oh, nice. That's what's up.
Yeah, Deion Sanders is at Jackson. I'm here at Fisk. Jerry Stackhouse is at Vanderbilt, but it's different for him. But you know, these programs need us. They need more big time athletes coaching and giving back. You know, so we can help them.
Yeah. I mean, I know you guys have kind of like have a hard time recruiting, right?
Yeah.
You know, versus like the really big schools, you know, opposed to the HBCUs. What are some of your strategies to actually get, you know, some of the top talent to attend these schools?
You know, well, basically, you got to be honest with the young men and tell them, you know, about yourself. You know, me recruiting them. Hey, I can help you get to where you want to go. You know, if that's in the NBA or maybe it's a smaller scale, but overseas, continue to work extremely hard on your craft. You could get a good job. We know so many different people through our ups and downs and through our professional lives that, you know, we can help these young men.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think that's really important because, I mean, you know, I forget what the stats is for guys that are making it in the NBA, but, you know, it's not a lot of guys. What do they got like?
It's about 400. Well, you could just 1%, 2%, because it's 450 jobs. You know, that's it. So you got to put your, you know, just don't concentrate on yourself. work extremely hard in the classroom and anything you got on the court, and then you just, you know, hopefully you're getting good advice from
Yeah.
somebody that did it. You know, you're going to help these young men and not just use them. And that's what, you know, a lot of times that you know, some of these young men are getting used.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, what ways do you see that these guys are getting used? Because I know, you know, some of these guys, they're good enough to make it into the league right now. You know, what do you think what are some things that you think is hindering them from actually getting to that, you know, as soon as possible?
I think a lot of kids, they work ethic, you know, if they serious about it, and it might not happen right away. You got to work extremely hard on your craft. If that's basketball, soccer, football, everything, you just got to work extremely hard. And a lot of kids, it's a lot of things going on in the world today that got these kids, you know, mixed up. You got to, you know, I wasn't mixed. I knew what I had to do. It was, I had sightsee on everything I wanted to do in my life to take care of my mother, and boom, I got it done. Now it's so many different. Now they getting paid now in college. They can get paid. We couldn't get paid in college, so it's a lot different. A lot. You got to be more aware of what's going on, and you got to have a good mentor in your life. And a lot of these kids don't have the good mentors. You got mentors that's, you know, checking for themselves, and that's not good. That's not good.
I mean, speaking of getting paid in the schools, right? I mean, kids are getting paid for their likeness, right?
Yes.
You know, and majority of the time it's a top of the class kind of guys. You know, probably like somebody like Zion could have gotten paid as much as he wanted to, but now the rules have changed. Do you think that's a benefit, you know, to these kids, or do you think that that's going to be a detriment?
I think and that's what I was saying. I think some of the kids would be a detriment. Kids don't want to work hard; they just want to get it, you know, while they're in college, and that's it. Kids, you know, and I think it's going to hurt in the long run. But you know, what do you say to a mother or family that don't have the money that, you know, want to be taken care of because their kid is talented, going to a school, making the school X amount of money, a lot of money. So, you know, I get it, but it's for the young man. If he's smart enough and if he's gonna make it strong enough on himself, not just take the money. The money is fine, but your work ethic? Is it going to take away from your work ethic? And that's what I'm saying. And it might.
Yeah, I mean, I saw an interview by KG, and he said before he got in the league, he was offered some money, right? You know, were you ever in that position, or if not, you know, did you ever see those kinds of things happening? And like, what was the most amount of money you probably heard somebody getting offered? You know,
I'm from New York. I came up different. Easily. I could have easily took the money, but I didn't. You know, I stayed with it. I stayed with my mentor, Vincent Smith, who's Kenny Smith's older brother, works for TNT.
Yep.
So, you know, I could have easily did it, but I didn't. New York was running rampant. You know, I don't know how much money I could have got numerous of dollars. 300,000, 200,000. Back then, that's a lot.
That's like $1 million.
That's not. If you look at it now, that's no money.
Right.
You know,
right. Facts.
So, you know, it's crazy. But 200,000, if it's done the right way, can take you longer. You get a place to live. You and your mother a place to. But we just using the money to do stupid things with it. And then it's gone. And then now what? You're back in the same predicament you just left out of. So back then it was a little different. You know, you had to be careful.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Facts.
For sure. So you played in the NBA 14 years, and I know you bounced around a couple places, but I know you also played like 4 years with the Celtics? right?
I played 14 years in the NBA, 5 years with the Celtics, 4 years with the New Jersey Nets, 5 years with the Celtics, and 2 years with Portland Trailblazers. Those are my 3 teams I give love to. Period. Those are the 3 teams I give love to, and they still give me love. They give me love.
So you're still following the Celtics?
Yes, I follow the Celtics, the Brooklyn Nets, and Portland Trailblazers. That's it. The NBA, you know, I do some work. I just was up there. And, they came out with the Brooklyn Nets New Jerseys. I was up there doing that. It was a great event.
Oh, nice. That's awesome.
So you know, those teams still follow me. I still get in touch. They stay in touch with me when they do certain events. They want me to come up. I come up. I'm going up November 30th when they play the Knicks, the Nets and Knicks. You know, so I love watching the NBA game, but I don't want to coach it. I don't want nothing to do with it, but just watch.
Speaking, were you watching the games last night? Lakers and Pistons?
No, I don't watch. I get ESPN. You know, I watch more college games to see how these kids are doing and certain things I could pick up on and give my school, you know, a way to play the game the right way.
Right.
You know, I'm a coach now, so it's a lot different for me. You know, I'm learning. I'm learning how to be a coach.
Did you did you see the LeBron James and Isaiah Stewart situation?
I seen it on ESPN, and you know, it's bad. It looks bad, but you know, LeBron didn't speak on his behalf. He let Anthony Davis speak on his behalf on ESPN. It was that was shocking. You know, he didn't. You know, on the media, he ran out. He just left the arena or whatever. He didn't speak on it. That's shocking.
Yeah,
right. He didn't even do his interview. The one time he doesn't do his, post game, press conference with the media is, the time that he, ended up getting ejected and then that scuffle, with Isaiah Stewart. I know, which is crazy because he always, every chance he gets talks and speaks to the media whenever he gets opportunity. So it's crazy how when that one incident happens, he doesn't want to say nothing to nobody and speak to the media at all. And like you said, AD had to speak on his behalf and, and his teammates as well.
Yeah. So that's interesting on how you handle the media is really important nowadays. And he's usually good with the media. So it was shocking that he did that, but
facts. No, it was definitely. I totally agree with that. So kind of wanted to ask you, since you said you were Boston Celtic and spent 5 years here, I wanted to ask you how was your time with the Celtics? So you said you still follow the team and you still show them love when you can.
My time in Boston was lovely. I missed it there. I love playing there. We went to the Eastern Finals against the New Jersey Nets with Jason Kidd, 2003, I believe, and we lost to them. I played with Antoine Walker, Paul Pierce, played with some great pros. I was coached by some great coaches. Rick Pitino was my first coach. He resigned, and then Jim O'Brien was an awesome Boston Celtic coach. Did a great job for us, got us winning, and it just was great. I had a great time in in Boston, but the main thing, I had a great time in New Jersey. I went number 2 in the draft in 1991, played with Derek Coleman, Drazen Petrovic, and we played against Michael Jordan era. So it was just tough. Cleveland was good that year. Chicago, Penny Hardaway, Shaq, Orlando was good. Knicks with Patrick Ewing and all of them was good. And then the Nets. So I played, man. I played with many greats and against a lot of great players.
No, for sure. And that's a great era of basketball. It's like that's when the NBA was real, not what it is today. But that's what's the the glory days, when it was really good days when there was a lot of competition and and it was, you know, it was in real physical
Yeah.
and a lot of, you know, really good players actually like stayed with their teams, and not like it is now when guys are just looking for the next super team to join, and the easiest way to get a championship, you know, and stuff, and just to look to just play with their boys, you know, when guys actually wanted to compete on the floor against each other, and not, you know what I'm saying, be all friendly and dap each other up, and you know, and be all nice and everything.
Yeah,
so no, that was definitely, I enjoyed watching that era of the NBA without a doubt. So I also wanted to ask you actually a couple things. So how was it playing against Michael Jordan, and also, you know, you mentioned playing with Paul Pierce and Antoine Walker. Like, can you talk about your experience, you know, playing against and with those guys?
Yeah. When I played against Michael Jordan, is the GOAT. You know, he was a great. He's the GOAT. You know.
Yes, sir.
He played extremely hard. Real talented. But you know, back then, you know, we just competed. You know, I didn't care if your name was Michael whatever. I just wanted to compete, and that's just what it was. And you know, that's how I came up. That's how I was brought up in New York City. Just go out and compete, man. And you know, Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, they had a great Chicago Bulls team. And they played the right way, and they did it. They won 6 championships. But you know, we had a good teams in New Jersey with myself. Drazen Petrovic died in a car crash. Derek Coleman was rookie of the year, big power forward, could handle the ball, could do it all. So we just, you know, we came up short. Paul Pierce, Antoine Walker was 2 of the young guys back then in the league. I was getting older up there, but I played with Paul Pierce. You know, it was a tragedy. He had tragedy when he got stabbed all those times. I was on the team. He almost lost his life. And it was amazing that he came back and he played. And it was it seemed like he was just all normal. It was amazing. And thank God for that.
Yeah. Absolutely, man. So you're definitely paying attention. You know, NBA's been pretty interesting this year. You know, we got a guy like Kyrie Irving, you know, from the Brooklyn Nets, who's not playing right now because, you know, the situation we're in right now. And I feel like there was a big narrative out there for him. What were your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I don't have too many thoughts. It's just a bad situation with this COVID situation. And, you know, he's a Muslim, so his beliefs is different. And you can't blame him. Everybody got different beliefs, and he's taking it there. And, you know, and for playing in the NBA, everyone has to get their COVID shots. And he doesn't want to take them. You got to understand that. And that's just on him. But in the process, you know, you lose a lot of money and you can't play due to the fact of the COVID situation. And in New York, it's they mandating it that everybody got to take it. And it's a shame, but you know, you got to figure it out.
Absolutely, man, for sure. I feel like
definitely.
I mean, I feel like he kind of got like a bad rep for that, you know, because I mean, not everybody, you know, has that status in the NBA, and for him not to be able to show his talents, to me, you know, I think it's a shame, and hopefully that changes soon for him, because I feel like the NBA is a lot better with him in it than without.
Oh yes, definitely, and I believe his religion, you know, the new religion that he's a Muslim, take a lot of pull from that, and that's what he's strong. His beliefs is very strong with it, and he's trying to help others, which is a blessing, and so he doesn't want to play So he's giving all his, like, what I'm trying to say, he doesn't want to play, but he's giving his blessings to try to change everything.
Yeah.
To try to change everything. And that's great, but also understand your entertainment, what people respect you for, what made you who you are. The NBA and the monies and things of that nature, that's who made you. But I just think it's like 50-50, you know, he's doing the right things, but it's just, I really don't know, you know, but it's like I said, it's 50-50. You got to be in or out somewhat.
Not facts, no doubt.
In or out.
I mean, he is Kyrie, so you know, whenever he feels like he's playing, I feel he wants to play. I feel like he can come back and get back to his spot right there. You know.
Now I don't know about that. Now that would causes friction. He can come back. I don't know. These guys have been playing everywhere. You know, they've been playing. They throw him in the lineup and everything like that. He's a great player. Don't get me wrong, but where's the team chemistry? It's just tough. It's going to be a tough situation for him to rebound from this year.
If you were his teammate, would this be something that bothers you?
Yes, definitely. Because he knows what we're after. You know, in Brooklyn, you know, we got a chance to win a championship with him, and he's taking it. He's taking it all the way with his beliefs.
Right.
With his beliefs, and I understand it. So I you know, it's just a tough situation to be involved in.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder what somebody like Kevin Durant, you know, and James Harden feel like, you know, because those guys, they're getting up there in age, and you know, be in contention for so many years. Like, how do you think they're taking that right there? Because I know they got to answer lots of questions, and
that's another thing for the team, coaching staff, the players, every day got to answer questions about that. Who wants to deal with that when we're trying to compete and win a championship? It's really tough. It's tough.
What would you think about trading?
Yeah.
Wow, really?
You don't have a choice. You don't have a choice.
What do you mean about that?
It's gonna be tough playing in New York. So you can play 41 games elsewhere, not at home. That's tough.
Yeah.
That's a tough situation.
I think they were talking about, because I think he was allowed to go back in the facilities for like a period of time, and then it was like, nah, you can't do that at all. You think that was them like saying, hey, you either get this thing or you don't?
Yeah. They're putting the pressure on them. The lead, the NBA, everything. They're putting the pressure on them. They tried to put the pressure on him. Yeah, they gave him a new contract. It was on hold. Then they took it off. You know, he was supposed to sign, and he didn't want to sign. They took it off. So, you know, it's real deep, man. It's real deep.
Yeah.
I actually even have a hot take on about this Kyrie thing.
Yeah.
I think he sits out the whole year. I don't think we see Kyrie Irving play.
I agree with you on that.
And I don't think he'll be back with the Brooklyn Nets this year. Even, you know, when they make the playoffs, I don't see him coming back and playing at all. I think he sits this thing out as long as he can, and until something big, you know what I'm saying, happens, and until the organization, you know, makes another decision. But I certainly think that, I wouldn't shock me if Kyrie Irving doesn't play for a single game for the Nets this season.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
You think this season or moving forward?
This season, because I think after this season, they're gonna have to make a decision.
Yes,
you know, the organization and KD and Harden and Steve Nash and the GM, you know what I'm saying, and all the big you know, people that are part of the Brooklyn Nets organization are gonna have to really sit down and, you know, and have a real conversation and put their heads together and come, and find a solution to this problem at some point. And I think that's the time that they're really gonna reevaluate, this, thing that's going on with Kyrie. So I think it's kind of tough to do it in season because there's so many games and you're focused on just winning basketball games and doing what you have to do for the team. But once the season comes to an end, I think they'll definitely have more time to be able to to evaluate that and really think as far as whether they want him on the team or whether they should move on from him and and look to go their separate ways. So that's what I think about that.
I don't know how true this is, but I heard, it's either he stays on Brooklyn or if he gets traded, he'll retire. You think he's bold enough to do something like that?
I don't know. I don't think he's the way his body is, the two injuries and things of that nature. Maybe there's a lot of wear and tear, which he does. He definitely has a lot of wear and tear on his body. If he wants to stay in Brooklyn or retire, that may be the answer. But I think with everything that's going on, they would have to wait until next season to see all of this. Yeah. After this season, to see if they could trade him. To see, it's just going to be a situation. But I really, that's a tough situation to be in, man.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot of money. He owes a lot. He owes a lot. The Nets owe him a lot of money right now.
Yeah.
And everybody know his situation. So why would you trade for him?
Yeah.
Right. He has no trade value as right now because everyone knows he doesn't want to play right now. Right.
So it's a tough situation, man.
Yeah.
No doubt.
You played 14 years, man. And I think that's a blessing because not a lot of guys get to play that long in the league, right? In your opinion, what do you think it takes to make it, to have longevity in the league?
You just, first of all, you gotta pray. I got no, me, I was a guard, I was quick, so I got no knee injuries. So I thank God for that. I ain't got no knee injury, so ankles here and there. So my body hung in there. My body hung in there. My mental got better with time. I started to really take care of my body a lot better. You gotta see, you gotta learn. I always say it's NBA players and then there's professionals. I learned how to be a professional about 4 or 5 years into my career.
Yeah.
Professionals take care of their bodies, take care of this their job. They know what they have to do. My first 3-4 years, I was just playing. I was a talented basketball player. After that, I understood. I said, "Damn, I saw guys play, work out on their games, work out on their bodies, and I picked up on it. And I was like, wow, this what it takes."
I mean, what are some of these things that you had to do to take care of your body? Because I know,
hey, the bottom line: watch what you eat, watch what you drink, what you put in your body, and then you got to work out on your craft. You got to work out extremely. Or they got all these great facilities. Each organization, you got to use them. I come in, hour and a half before practice, get my shots up, get my massages, my therapy, and stuff like that. You got to take care of yourself if you want to become a great basketball player.
Is that something you talk to your players about right now?
Yes, that's what I do.
Mm-hmm.
And we being a small school, we got to take care of our players. Just like if we want them to go out and play hard, or you got to feed them right, and they got to work out on their bodies. They got to do the stuff. They got to look at film on their game, on the other team's players and stuff like that.
Yeah,
you got to be a professional.
Yeah,
early in your career, early.
Right. No, that's
I feel like Yeah, I feel like that's a big, that's a big factor, when it comes to the players, taking care of your bodies. I know that the HBCUs, they're not
Nah,
the well funded
yes.
places, schools that we have in America. If given the funding, right, what would you bring to your college right now?
Oh, that'll be, nutrition, um, workout facilities, things of that nature. We got to get a better gym. It's things basketball players need to be better. But those are the things athletes need. They need a good gym, and nutrition. You gotta take care of yourself to play the game of sports. Period. Around all sports, you gotta have the facilities to do well. You know. And HBCU, we're trying, but we need some more help.
No, definitely. Absolutely. No, I
Yeah,
totally
just
agree with you with
interesting.
that.
Just interesting. I went to Georgia Tech for 2 years. We had great facilities.
Yeah,
We eat when we want. We work out when we want. Nice big gym, weight room, all that. So come on, man.
No,
What's the
I
difference?
feel
We
you,
gotta
man.
come on. Just don't. I understand it now,
right.
but we gotta. HBCUs it could be bigger, and I'm at a private HBCU, so it's harder.
Wow.
That's absolutely, without a doubt. No, it's definitely much more challenging and more
Yes.
difficult and more obstacles and adversity that you have to go through in a HBCU as opposed to all these big time powerhouse D1 schools. So
Yep.
no, I totally agree with you on that. That's facts. But I wanted to ask you, Kenny. So like, who were some people that were like the most influential in your NBA career that helped you become a better player and that made you the player that that you became in the league?
In the lead, I just I'm from New York, so I always give up to the great point guards that went before me that I watched. Rod Strickland, Kenny Smith, Mark Jackson, Pearl Washington, rest in peace. Those are the guards before me that from New York that was tough, that I played against, and I got knowledge by watching them guys play.
Hmm.
And they was all awesome. So I give love to all. We had New York point guards was awesome. We had Boo Harvey, Kenny Hutchinson. These are great point guards. Some of them might have never made the pros, but they was awesome guards.
Absolutely. I mean,
No, for sure.
I heard you say Mark Jackson, and I feel like after they took that Golden State job from him, and he hasn't been able to land another coaching gig, and I really don't understand why. Because I feel like he was a really great coach when he was with Golden State. What do you think about that? And should he really be coaching somewhere?
Yeah, he should be coaching. He's blackballed. It's tough. He did some things, Golden State, that he might be. He looking back on it. He say, I shouldn't have did it, but he did it. So, and it's sad that I'm always wondering. I always wonder this: if he was a white man, would he be looking for a job like this?
No, it's a fair point. Fair question.
See,
No,
I always think about it like that. He's a good friend of mine, so I'm always thinking about that. It just gotta. I don't know where it ends. It gotta end somewhere. I don't know where it ends. Where the prejudice. He did something wrong by saying what he said, but hey, that's life. People's gonna say the wrong things at times, but to lose your job, it's tough. And then not to be offered another job, it's tough. And he was one of the top coaches in the NBA at the time, so that tells you something.
Yeah.
right. And Golden State was really good that year and made the playoffs that
He
year that
started
he
it.
got fired. And it's like, as don't get me wrong, Steve Kerr's a good coach. I
Yeah.
like Steve Kerr and everything. but I always give credit to Mark Jackson for making Golden State, you know what I'm saying, like what they became and who they are. Like he, you know, helped Steph Curry tremendously, helped Klay Thompson, helped Draymond Green. Like he legit started that dynasty in that you know, era. It did that championship you know, basketball for Golden State. That started like with him. So he definitely deserves, you know, I think more credit than, you know, than he gets, because I feel like a lot of people tend to forget that legit he was, you know, the pioneer and, you know, and turned that Golden State you know, Warrior team around, and, you know, to the point where they became a winning team and, you know, and making the playoffs and eventually you know, started winning championships. That he was the one that, you know, that started that, and then, you know, those guys kept it going.
Yeah, they definitely did. He molded them. He molded all those guys, and they respect him a great deal, and they know what it's about. You know, it's sad, but that's the NBA for you. That's life for you. And you know, he's still a great one. He was a great point guard. He's from New York. He's from Queens. My mother was cool with his mother, so it was
Oh, word, that's what's up. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah. So yeah, it was just a tough situation, you know, for me. And he's become a great TV announcer. He's doing great.
He is. Oh, I love him. He's my favorite.
Yeah, everybody love him. So, you know, that's great.
How come you didn't go that route?
No, I don't, you know, I want to give back, you know, to the kids that I'm coaching. And I wanted to do, I'm doing it the way, I want to do it on a college level.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it on a pro level. I want to do it on a college level where maybe I can get those kids to where I got to the pros or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my dream to one day, you know, these kids that I'm coaching, you know, go overseas and play in the pros or get to the pros. If I can help them do that, you know, one or two kids, I did my job, you know. And then all the kids that I'm coaching, they grow and become good young men. You know, if they're gonna get married, if they're gonna raise their family, just show them the right way. And they don't know they saving me. They don't even know this. They saving me. They doing a good job for me.
Yeah.
To better myself.
Yeah.
Through them.
That's big. I think that's huge. Yeah. I think the last question I have for you, Kenny, is you know, what do you think is the best advice you can give your players?
Wow, I got so much advice, but I know they probably tired of hearing me, you know. But I would say just my mother always just keep it real. Number one, number two, work extremely hard, whatever you want to do to succeed. You know, if you want to be a mechanic, work hard fixing cars. You know, if that's what you want to do. If you want to be a soccer player, football player, baseball, basketball, just work extremely hard on your craft. You know, and that's one of the things I always tell my team. You got to work hard, man. And they're not 2 hours just come in for practice, but it's the other, you know, the individual workouts, the weight training, the eating right, taking care of yourself. That's the big thing I always tell my young men that I'm coaching.
Definitely, that's really good advice for any young player out there that's trying to make it big and, you know, and trying to get to the NBA and play professionally without question. So I totally agree with that. So definitely that's, you know, good for all the young players out there. I hope they're hearing that, whoever's listening to this podcast who's trying to make it big in basketball. But I wanted to ask you, Kenny, who's your top 5 basketball players of all time? Who would you have on that list?
My point guard would be Tiny Archibald.
Ooh, okay. Throwing it back. All right.
My two guard would be Michael Jordan.
Yes,
Got to.
MJ. Gotta have MJ. Got to. No doubt.
My 3 it goes all kind of ways. I like Scottie Pippen or James Worthy.
Ooh.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's a good one. Those are both good ones.
My four be Olajuwon, the Dream.
Hakeem
Can't go
the
wrong.
Dream,
Can't go wrong.
definitely
And,
not one of the goats right there.
and my five, I gotta go. It's a lot of great big fives, but I'm gonna go with a Kareem Abdul-Jabbar from New York City.
Ooh,
New
I
York
like
guys
that.
sticking together,
This
man.
guy
Yeah,
hook.
no doubt.
New York guys sticking together. Well, Kenny, man, it's been a pleasure for you coming on the show, giving us your time and answering these questions. Proud of what you're doing for the HBCU and those students right there, and I wish you the best of luck. I was actually out in Nashville earlier this year. It's a place
Yeah,
I really love to go to just because the vibe's just different, man.
yeah,
So
it's nice.
hopefully I can come down there, maybe even catch a game, man.
Yeah, it'd be great, man. Just let me know or email me, and I throw you my schedule. You come down there, you be my guest, come to one of my games, and just cheer us on, man. I appreciate you.
Absolutely, man.
Of course, man, no doubt. We'd love to do that. That'd be great. That'd be awesome.
Have a good night, bro. We'll talk to
Yeah,
you
you too.
soon.
Thanks again for coming on, Kenny. We
Uh,
appreciate you, man. Thanks
it
for
was
your
it
time.
was a pleasure. It was a pleasure,
Yeah,
man. Thank you.
the pleasure's
Absolutely.
ours, no doubt, man. No, thank you, Kenny. Appreciate
All
it.
right.
You have a good night, man. Take care. Good luck with everything. Good
All
luck
right.
with your team this year.
Thank you.
No problem. All right, man. There it was. That was awesome, man.
The
That was
great
dope.
Kenny Anderson working at Fist right now, right? In Nashville, down there.
Yes, sir.
I think one of the best things he said was those kids are saving him. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I was researching him, and one of the things they that kept coming up is like, financial situations for him, you know. And that's something I could have asked about, but I feel like that really don't matter right now, right? Because
Yeah, it's
like
true.
that really doesn't, give any value to what's going on. Because I feel like, you shouldn't be getting into a man's, financial situation or whatever.
Right. Facts.
And I feel like it's kind of wrong, for that to be all over the internet when it's like dude's in a different spot now, you know what I'm saying? So and things happen, you know what I mean? But
Right. Exactly.
for him to come
No,
on the
facts.
show and do this with us, man, that was dope. You know what I mean? Like
Was absolutely greatly
former NBA
appreciated.
player, man, 14 years. You know what I
Yes,
mean? Who
sir.
plays 14 years in the league, bro?
Right. Well, where they do that at? Like, if you don't see that, normally and not too often, right? Guys don't usually make it that long in the league. It's hard to, what I'm saying, be able to have that longevity and be able to, you know, stay that long in the NBA and be a really good player. You know what I'm saying? For that length of time, you don't normally see it. You see guys fall off and not really play as well towards like the end of the time and not really make it anywhere close to the 14. So
Bro,
for him to do that is,
it'd be
you
like
know what I'm
3
saying? It's
years.
remarkable and
It'd be
incredible.
like 3 years then overseas. You know what I mean?
Right. In fact, they don't even get to that second contract. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Some of them don't even, get the, get past that rookie deal. You know what I'm saying? That they get. So for him to get probably at least 3 contracts and, for him to be able to make it as long as
Well,
he
I think
did
he
it.
played for like 5 teams. So it's like
Right.
5
He,
contracts.
he was a journeyman. Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. It's true. He moved around in the league too, and definitely you know, we played for quite a few teams, but he contributed to each one of those teams. He was a good
Yep.
player on each one of those teams. It
I
wasn't
mean,
like
I
he was
remember him. So
5%.
he was a good player.
He was. No, absolutely. No, he was. Especially on the Celtics. For sure. I always liked watching him play on the Celtics, with Paul Pierce and Antoine Walker and, the rest of the guys that he, played with on here. He definitely balled out and did his thing. For sure. He definitely could hoop, man. He had hoop game without question, man. He could ball.
Yes, sir. I mean, if you're a hooper and you're watching the show, hopefully you learn a few things from Kenny Anderson. And if you are and you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you subscribe to the channel. sharing the content, commenting. We love interacting with you guys. That's the way to support the channel for free. So make sure you subscribe to the channel. Tell your friends. They like this kind of content. You liking this video, it helps, get this video out to people like yourself. So, this was it for us. Until the next episode, man. We're going to holler at you. And Vlad, we miss you, bro. We'll see you next week.
See you next week, Vlad. Hope all is well. And, have a good one, guys. Take care and happy Thanksgiving to everybody out there. Hope y'all have a great and safe holiday. Thanksgiving coming up. Happy Thanksgiving to you, John, and your family as well. Hope you have a great holiday.
Appreciate you, bro.
Your family as well. And, we're a lot to be thankful for.
What's one thing you're thankful for?
One thing, man. Definitely for this podcast and for my family, right? And for all the big guests that have been able to pull up to Pro Fan Sports. That's who I'm really, thankful for. Like, all the big time, people that have been coming on this show, this year and that have, responded back to my, messages that I've sent them. I'm very grateful and thankful for that, and appreciate all you guys. All you guys are the best, and and are awesome, and and definitely greatly appreciated. So shout out to all the guests that have been on Pro Fan Sports podcast so far, and we got many more to come. So it's definitely looking forward to it, and a lot to be thankful for this week and really this year. So I'm looking forward to this holiday, and gonna enjoy it with the family and with friends. So
absolutely, man, and I second that, bro. I'm thankful for the podcast. Relationships we've been building. Everybody that's come on the show. It's made it a better show. So
yes,
happy Thanksgiving, y'all.
Right.
Until the next episode.
Oh yeah, and also one more thing I'm forgetting. We're thankful for our supporters and all our listeners who listen every week to this podcast. You know what I'm saying? Like, without y'all, this podcast wouldn't be where it is, and wouldn't have been able to grow as much as as we've grown this past year and a half that we've been.
It's been a dope year, man.
It has, man, for sure. And we're gonna finish this thing strong and keep this thing going. And continue to give y'all the best content we can give y'all each and every week. So we appreciate you guys tuning in and listening to us. To all our episodes, and we hope you continue to do so moving forward.
Yes, sir. Happy Thanksgiving, y'all. We out.
Yes, sir. Peace out, everyone.